Biblical Shakers, you have done well and have succeeded after Wednesday with the reading of the book of Leviticus. Chapters 25 through 27 will be read Monday through Wednesday with corresponding daily devotions posted for each chapter read. You will close out the week with two wonderful chapters from the book of Psalms, chapters 90 and 91, with devotions also posted for them. The Sabbath year was explained in the 26th chapter, where the fields were to lay unplowed and unplanted after 7 years of harvest. It was a reminder of how the land belonged to the Lord and not his chosen people. After 7 Sabbaths, the year of Jubilee was to be celebrated. This included canceling all debts, freeing all slaves, and returning to its original owners all land that had been sold. There is no real evidence in the Bible that the year of Jubilee was ever really carried out. If so, they would have been a society without permanent poverty. God used the word covenant 8 times in chapter 26. It reminded the people of their special relationship with him and the responsibilities belonging to that relationship. If they obeyed the terms of the covenant, they would remain in the promised land and enjoy his blessings. However, God's covenant included both blessing and punishment, for God will not share his goodness with rebellious children. However, our gracious God always leaves the door open for restoration. If you have ever found it difficult or impossible to fulfill a promise, the message of chapter 27 is for you. Have you ever made a promise to give God something if in return he would bless you? The chapter explains that the person making the promise was not permitted to back out. We need to be careful when promising God something. He takes it as a true covenant. The book of Leviticus is filled with the commands God gave his people at the foot of Mount Sinai. From these commands, we learned much about God's nature and his character. The book still speaks to us. God has not changed, and his principles are for all times. As people and society change, we need constantly to search for ways to apply the principles of God's law to our present circumstances. God is the same today and will be forever. The week changes on Thursday as we read Psalm chapter 90. This psalm was written by Moses and is the oldest psalm. He explains that our time on earth is limited and we are to use it wisely and for eternal good. We continue forward on Friday with a reading of Psalm chapter 91, the second most read psalm in that book except for chapter 23. It offers us security as we read that God is our shelter when we are afraid. The writer's faith in the Almighty God as protector would carry him through all the danger and fears of life. To do this, we must dwell and rest in him. What a great way to end the week in our God's mighty arms. Won't you check in next week? We're going to continue in the book of Psalms for a few weeks. So won't you please join us, because Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. And I pray that the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.